Hello, thank you for watching our production of The Coming Magic written by Alan Hanel. We hope that you enjoy this Reader's Theater format production for Winchester Little Theater.
We open in a large room with 9 beds. Beside each bed is a chair. In each bed is a sleeping teenage girl. After several seconds, the girls stir at the same time. Their actions are not identical, but they act as if they have all had their sleep interrupted by the same similar impulse. They quiet again. After a few more seconds, they stir again in unison. This disruption lasts longer and is more pronounced than the first. They are quiet. After a few seconds, they whisper in unison.
Shock strand. Log on. Plug in. Shock you level 4. Please no.
Kissed you.
Level 6. Shock strand.
Plug in. Attach very there.
Dr. Phipps, Nurse England, and Paul Kroger standing in front of a computer monitor.
Fascinating. How long ago did they take the drug?
Nurse England?
They each had 2 100-milligram tablets at 6 o'clock last night.
And it's
1:27 a.m. now.
And the symptoms, this synchronicity.
We noticed it around 8 p.m.
The residents alerted us, actually. They were pretty freaked out.
For lack of a better term.
So was I. I've never seen this before.
We called you immediately. I hope that was the right thing to do given the hour.
Oh, absolutely. Any anomalies involving Primiterol, night or day, we need to know.
This is an anomaly, all right.
Were they agitated before the symptoms occurred?
I mean, these adolescent girls are all here for their technology addictive disorders. Yesterday afternoon was the beginning of their first fasting session, so we didn't expect them to be calm.
Fair enough. So why don't you walk me through the circumstances that brought about this situation?
Our methodology attempts to transfer the overdependence the patient's residents have on technology to an interdependence on one another as human beings.
Mr. Kroger.
Paul, please.
Paul, okay. I'm pretty familiar with this spiel since I pretty much did help come up with it. If you don't mind, I'm just going to attend to some other work.
Absolutely. I'm sure you have a great deal to do. And Miss England, now that I've been called in, I hope you will regard me as a partner in the residents' treatment. Please apprise me of any and all developments. I say this to you especially because, no offense, Dr. Phipps, we all know that nurses are the backbone of any medical establishment.
You got that right.
Thank you, Nurse England.
You're welcome, Donald. See you around, Paul.
Very energetic, your Nurse England.
Yes. As I was saying, we use a gradual process here. First allowing the patients to engage for 24 hours with a highly addictive social media app, one they're all familiar with.
Which one?
Shockstrand.
Ah.
You know of it?
No connoisseur of addiction would dare not know of Shockstrand. Life, live, wired. Part game, part social media platform with the edge of mild sadomasochism. Very well designed.
So yes, we allow them to use Shockstrand for the first 24 hours with full online access. For the next phase, they stay on Shockstrand, but we narrow the number of participants to only their other 8 companions in the room.
Ingenious.
Thank you.
And then you cut them off from the app entirely, as well from all technology use, and encourage face-to-face interaction.
Precisely.
And your success rate?
We're encouraged by the results, though this strategy is only one facet of a multidisciplinary approach.
And Primiterol comes in...
Well, as you might imagine, with techno-addictives, each transition meets with resistance. but the point at which we take away their devices is particularly fraught.
Naturally.
I've never run across anything as efficient as Primiterol at reducing anxiety.
You never will. Primiterol is the definitive treatment for anxiety. It will prove to be as great a boon to humankind as penicillin.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
I am.
Anyway, we thought this time we would try.
I'm sorry, we?
Oh, yes, Nurse England and I. This is a fledgling program, Paul, that she and I have worked together on. I'm afraid we're chief cooks and bottle washers around here. A two-person operation at this point.
I admire your dedication. A small team often means better care.
Exactly. So we thought we would do well to administer Primiterol at the point of transition from limited use of shock strand to complete techno-fasting. Obviously, given the result, I will never do it again.
Of course. It is rather a wondrous outcome, though.
I only hope it's temporary.
Do you know the story of Primiterol?
The story? I mean, I know it has a strong reputation.
You don't know its history?
No, afraid not.
You should. It begins over 60 years ago. Every doctor who prescribes Primiterol should know its story.
Paul, the reason I called...
It's a charming story, and I use that word intentionally. Charm, magic, those are appropriate words to use when talking about the drug.
Look, the patient's residents seem to be active again.
Doctor, I sense that you're impatient to know what I'm going to do about your problem.
It's just that...
Telling you the story of our drug is doing something. A very important something. 60 years ago, a man named Walker Posner found an island in the Pacific, inhabited by several tribes. You see, it's already charming, isn't it? A remote island, mysterious tribes. Please give me your attention, Doctor.
I'm sorry, I was noticing...
Yes, the residents are active, but I presume they're in a locked space and are not a danger to one another?
Of course.
Then you have time to listen to the story. Walker Posner stayed on this island for 2 years. He was a brilliant man, a botanist, historian, sociologist, absolutely brilliant in all three fields. He stayed on the island precisely because it was an island, cut off from the rest of the world.
Oh no, not again. I need some sleep. Who was it?
Kelly. I know. I can't help it, you guys.
You have to help it.
You're killing us.
I don't want to kill you. I could just get my phone back. Something. My computer. My tablet.
Something.
I don't know.
Lonely.
Kelly, come on. Deep breath.
You keep swamping us.
I'm not trying to swamp you. I'm not going to kill you. I just
Remember the exercises the nurse showed us? Press your fingers together. Focus on pressing your fingers together.
I don't want to press my fingers together. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
It's not
all right.
Hold my hand.
Okay.
Squeeze it.
That's it.
When is somebody going to tell us what's happening?
I read about this treatment. It's not supposed to go like this.
What do you mean? You mean this isn't going to help? Why are we here?
Not to help.
Seriously, stop. If you keep this up, what are we doing here? What was that?
Who did that? That was like from shock strands, only 5 times bigger.
Who did it?
Aaron did.
How do you know?
Because I saw you.
What do you mean you saw me?
Was it you? Was it you?
Was it you?
Oh, relax.
Relax. Yes, okay, it was me.
How did you do that? We're not even wired up.
Beats me. Probably has something to do with me being a level 6 shocker.
Level 6?
Listen, that's really impressive, both that you're level 6 and that you can do that to us, but don't. All right?
Are you a level 6 kisser too?
Might be.
So how about sharing that instead?
How about you bite me?
What is your problem, Aaron?
My problem is that you're always talking, always chattering away like a bunch of birds. Then somebody gets uptight and swamps us, and the next thing I know, I'm joining in like a moron. I'm sick of it.
Just because you're bored doesn't give you an excuse to inflict pain on us.
I didn't say I did it because I was bored.
You didn't have to.
Get out of my head.
I don't have a choice, remember?
Right, you saw it. What does my boredom look like? A great big turd?
When is this gonna wear off? The doctor should have told us about this part of the treatment.
This isn't part of the treatment.
How do you know?
I've gone through this before. This, what's happening to us, is definitely not something they planned on.
You've already done rehab?
3 times. This is my 2nd time here.
It didn't work?
I pretended it did so they'd let me go, but no.
It didn't?
Kelly, don't lose it.
Take it slow.
It didn't?
Everyone, take a breath.
Deep breath.
Listen, guys, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, and here comes Amanda, our resident in-house therapist.
Why don't you shut up?
Why don't you...
I'm not trying to be the resident therapist, but we need to get some control over this situation, right? Right?
Go ahead. Talk, as if I could stop you.
All I'm suggesting is that, see, my mother is all into these guided meditations. It's weird, but it can help people get focused. I'm just thinking, if we had some sort of visual we can home in on and refer back to, it might be helpful. Like, if we all like it or not, we have to depend on one another.
Yeah, but not too much or we end up being each other.
It's a balance, right? I could take us through a meditation and that could help us find that balance. What do you think?
Not like we have anything else to do.
I can think of something. Sleep.
That's just we can't get decent rest because we keep getting carried away.
Some of us, anyway.
I can't help it.
Blame isn't going to do any good. Let's just try this, okay? Everybody, let's try it.
Whatever. How does it work?
All right. We'll bring our chairs into a crescent shape, close together.
Crescent? Shouldn't it be a circle?
The theory is that the open part of the crescent leaves a space for unifying energy to access the group.
Unifying energy. Ooh.
I told you it was hokey, but I've seen it work.
All right, we're all crescented.
Now what?
We hold hands.
I could have guessed that move.
Hey, at least she's trying to help.
Hey, I'm just trying to help us.
Do something
about it. Get down. Get down.
After months earning the tribe's trust, Walker Posner was finally allowed to sample the plant. He found it miraculous. Its taste was pleasant and warded off hunger. Its fragrance kept insects at bay. And, most important, it brought him a strong sense of calmness and clarity, with no side effects. It was even beneficial to the teeth. He deemed it, quote, the very root of equanimity, and it saved the lives of the Dominus tribe. Under conditions of near constant warfare, in circumstances that would normally be extraordinarily anxiety-provoking, the Dominus remained calm and clear-headed. I see I am losing you again, Dr. Phipps.
You know, this is all very interesting, but I...
No, Doctor, you mean the opposite, don't you? You don't find my story interesting at all. It is interesting inherently, and it should be especially captivating for you, because you are part of the story, and yet you're not interested. How many patients are at this facility, Doctor?
Just the 9 you see here. We're new and small, like I said. We hope to expand, though.
Charming. And how many people work here?
Just Nurse England and myself. I thought I told you.
You trust her, I presume?
Well, absolutely. Her manner can be occasionally unpolished, but she's very dependable, devoted to the practice.
And finally, Doctor, how many people besides you and Nurse England are aware of the issue that has come up with Primiterol and your patients?
No one. I haven't told anyone else.
Once more, I use the word deliberately, even gleefully. Charming. Doctor, right now at 1:30 in the morning, all is contained. All is well. You have the time to listen with undivided attention to at least the last, most crucial part of the story of Primiterol.
I will, but I can't help but be distracted by what's happening with the residents.
They seem to be interacting quite vigorously.
You've been watching?
I've been monitoring. But go ahead and turn up the volume, Doctor. We will observe for a few moments if you will commit to giving me your full attention after that.
Thank you.
Of course. I can be flexible.
We can't afford to lose control. We'll just end up fighting each other, which means we'll fight ourselves. Let's face it, really weird. But it looks like nobody is going to come figure this out for us.
Doctors should be.
Because they
Well,
don't
they're
know
not.
how.
So let's cut the sarcasm and the fighting and the panicking, and let's see if we can make some progress.
All right. We hold hands and close our eyes.
And sing camp songs.
I told you.
Relax. I'm doing it.
Okay, now I want you all to picture us together in a circular boat. Like they have at water parks.
I've never been to a water park.
You haven't?
That's all right. It's just a round, inflatable raft. All 9 of us can fit in it. It's comfortable, but it's very tippy. We can't make any sudden moves. We're on a river. A wide, clear, beautiful river. Right now, it's calm. The sun is out. The sky is a perfect blue. It's hot, but not too hot.
Who's got the sunscreen?
We're sitting back against the sides of the boat. It's in perfect equilibrium. We're going slowly down this river, watching the water go by, watching the trees on the shore go by. It's perfect. We can feel the water rippling underneath us, rocking us gently. In the distance, we see some rapids approaching. Nothing big. We'll be fine. We just have to go with them. We have to remember that our reactions affect one another. So even if we're a little scared of what's coming, we know we're all together. We know we can rely on one another. We have to rely on one another. Above everything else, in order to stay safe, we have to stay balanced. We're in the rapids now. They bump us around a little bit. We collide with a small rock in the river, but we just bounce off. The raft is strong. It will hold us up. We feel a spray of water, but that's all it is. Just water. It's refreshing. Nothing to worry about. We let the raft hold us up. We adjust. Nobody leaning too far one way or the other. Nobody panicking. The boat sways and rocks, but because we're paying attention to each other, we're fine. We're fine.
We're fine.
Paul and Dr. Phipps in the observation room.
Simply beautiful. After just a single dose, their interdependence and communication are increasing.
I had hoped the symptoms would have abated by now.
The changes to the brain could well be permanent.
Permanent? Oh, the ramifications of that.
Doctor, remember our deal. No need to get ahead of ourselves. For the moment, your residents are fine. Fascinating and fine.
But...
And I will finish our story, and then I will inform you of our next steps. How does that sound?
All right.
Your full attention, please. In short, the island was volcanic. After a violent eruption, it and its inhabitants were swallowed by the ocean, never to be seen again. A tragic loss. The only vestiges of the place were Walker Posner's journals, maps, and a handful of seeds. When he returned to his home in Florida, Walker Posner spent the rest of his life, 40 years, attempting to grow the miracle plant he had tasted on the island. He tried every variation in temperature, humidity, soil acidity, and sunlight exposure he could possibly create, to no avail. 40 years. On the morning of his 73rd birthday, an overcast April 8th, Walker Posner wrote, quote, "With the care of the most attentive mother for its child, I kissed the final seed and buried it, next to my last iota of hope, in the ground." That week, Walker Posner learned he had terminal cancer. 3 months later, 2 days before his death, Walker Posner chewed the leaves of the plant of that long since drowned island. He wrote in his journal, quote, "I have tasted heaven."
And that plant?
Yes, it is the source of Primiterol. Tormore Pharmaceuticals acquired the plant in 2009 and the patent in 2013. It sailed, of course, through all the trials. After all, the active ingredient had been used safely by humans for over a century. Since its introduction to the market last year, Primiterol has set record sales, surpassing every other Tormore product combined.
That is quite a story, Paul.
The tale of a gift to humanity preserved, snatched from volcanic fires in the obscurity of the ocean waves.
You're quite poetic.
I love this drug, I'm not ashamed to say, and I want you to love it too. Look at your circumstances, Doctor. The charm continues. This place is a virtual island itself, secluded and protected.
Well, what do you mean?
Had this event occurred elsewhere, in a different type of facility, with a larger staff, under greater scrutiny, we at Tormore Pharmaceuticals would have been forced to pull Primiterol off the shelves, probably never to return. The greatest, most lucrative drug in the past century, suddenly defunct. But that needn't happen now.
I'm not sure how long I can keep this under wraps, though.
For a few days, at least, yes. You could tell the residents' families that the current treatment precludes any visits.
I suppose.
You and Nurse England can continue to monitor, staying in close contact with me.
Do you think that...
In the meantime, I will formulate a plan.
Will you talk to the labs at Tormore?
No. What would I tell them? To put on the bottle that, in case of patients being treated for technology addiction disorder, Primiterol should not be administered after 24-hour use of the app's shock strand, limited to a 9-person community. No. This is a 1 in a billion glitch, my friend. Tormore hires people such as myself to solve these problems, to ensure that the story of Primiterol continues unhindered.
And no one will know?
That is precisely the goal. However, what Tormore will know, Doctor, is of this facility and the fine work it is doing. It will be informed of your dedication and of Nurse England's extreme competence.
I appreciate that, but...
Because Tormore is an extremely generous company with millions of dollars worth of grants available to institutions and individuals, Doctor, whose goals we wish to foster, I, as one of Tormore's top representatives, have definite clout in that area.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Well, I do feel that our facility fulfills an important need in the community. If we could expand...
Oh, you don't have to convince me, Dr. Phipps. I'm entirely sold on what you do here. Entirely.
Well, thank you.
So what I'm going to do now is leave. I'm going to go back to my home where I can begin to formulate a plan and draft my communications with Tormore. You have my cell number. Do not hesitate to use it if anything alarming occurs. Anything.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul.
I'll be in touch soon.
We're past the rapids now. We can relax again. Feel the sun on our faces. Feel it soaking into our skin, evaporating the water from our bodies. We feel as if everything is one thing. Us, the boat, the sun.
Hey!
Hey!
What's the matter?
Didn't you see that? The lights!
Who turned them on?
How did that happen? There's no light switch in here.
Aren't they on a timer?
Yeah, but it's still night.
I think we did it. I think we turned the lights on with our minds. Or, our one mind.
Come on. That can't be true.
We were focused on the sensation of the sun, and I don't know about you guys, but I felt pretty okay. Don't make fun of me, but I felt like we were all one for a few seconds.
No, I got that too.
I'll give you that, but our unified state of being did not somehow connect to the electrical system in this room and turn on the lights. That's nuts.
Why don't we try it again?
Try what?
Why don't we all focus and see if we can shut them off again?
And for our next trick, levitation.
What do we have to lose?
I don't like this. This makes me really nervous.
Kelly, it's nothing. Just an experiment.
Feels like a seance or something. I hate those.
We're all here, right? That's the point of the boat image. When you feel fear, you just look around the boat and know, as long as you stay calm, we'll be fine. We'll stay upright.
You won't swamp us.
The rapids are like fear.
Exactly, or any emotion. We can ride them out together.
I don't know.
Do you have a favorite song from childhood?
A what?
A tune, that maybe your parents used to sing to you at night?
Why?
It's just another thing to focus on, like the boat image.
Yeah, music's really good at helping with focus.
So is a kick in the head.
I can't remember the name of it. The one about the diamond ring.
Put a ring on it?
No, the baby one.
Put a baby ring on it?
This is so crazy. We can read each other's minds, but we can't come up with...
Hush, Little Baby. That's the one.
Good! That's a great tune. If we sing it together, it can be calming and unifying.
Now we are singing?
Let's try this. Close our eyes and hold hands again.
Golly gee, this will be so much fun, you guys.
Your jokes aren't helping, you know.
Maybe I've got better things to do than stay balanced in a 9-person pretend raft down the whoop-de-doo singing river attraction. How about that?
Just try, okay? Please.
Whatever. Give me your hand.
Amanda, do you want to guide us again?
Okay. Let's just try to give ourselves over more directly to the task. No boat, no river, just the tune and the lights. Close your eyes. Begin. Let's imagine reaching our mind together up to the lights over our heads. They're on now. Let's not think of anything else than the lights. When I count to 3, we're going to shut them off. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing happened.
Aaron wasn't trying.
How do you know?
I just know. When I close my eyes, I see everyone's aura. When we're together, or trying to be, we all sort of glow at the same rate. Aaron, you were holding back. I saw it.
This is such bull.
What isn't? It's bull that we're in here. It's bull they took our phones and everything from us. And it's total bull that they gave us a pill that will somehow make us think like one brain whenever somebody gets too upset.
Usually me. Sorry.
Not just you. Any one of us. It's all bull, Aaron. How much crazier is the idea that we might be able to control the lights?
Fine. You guys aren't going to leave me alone anyway. Give me your hand. I won't hold back.
All right. Close your eyes. Everyone, focus on the lights.
Could we do the song again? That actually helps a lot. Well, me anyway.
I second that.
Okay. Feel the light. Feel their intensity. Grip hands a little tighter. A little tighter still. We're here together. We don't know what we're capable of. I believe we can do this. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa!
I don't
No
know.
way.
Believe it.
I don't like this. This is really freaking me out.
Kelly, don't.
What was here? Get out of here.
I need to get out. Somebody get me out. I need to get out of here.
What is this here? What is going on in here? What is the matter? You're all right. You don't need to be scared. Kelly, you don't need to be scared. No one is going to hurt you. Let's turn on the lights.
Did you do that?
Did you do that?
Turn on the lights? Yes, I did that. It's one of my special tricks.
You're the only one who can do that, right?
What do you mean?
Kelly, hey, it's cool. It's fine.
What is her issue with the lights?
It's nothing.
It's not nothing. I have to get out of here.
Listen, I don't know if you remember me or not.
Of course we do, Aaron. You were part of our very first group here, and you promised not to be back.
Yeah, I'm a frequent flyer. Look, my point is, I know how things go here, and this, I don't know, this hive mind thing, this is new, right?
How long can we expect this to last?
I don't see how this is supposed to help us.
Look, I know you've got questions, but you're barking up the wrong tree asking me. The thing is, wait, where did Kelly go?
She was
Well,
I don't
there's
know.
and
Crap. Doctor, Kelly escaped the room. I need you here. Did anyone see her leave? Which direction did she go?
She was pretty agitated.
She kept saying that she had to get out, especially after the thing with the lights.
What thing with the lights?
You did leave the door open.
Hey, this wasn't my fault. I didn't expect her to go running off.
Well, maybe you should have.
Thanks very much, Aaron. I appreciate the input.
I'm just saying.
What happened? Did you find her?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance to look. Maybe you should call the rep. What's his name? Paul. He said if anything...
Yeah, I did already. What happened?
I heard a lot of commotion. I wasn't sure.
She left the door open and Kelly escaped. Whoops.
Shut up.
Ooh, professionalism goes out the window.
Do you realize how long it could take us to find her?
She's probably still in the building, and even if she does get out...
This could jeopardize everything.
I'll start looking. There. See? I bet she came back on her own.
Well, Dr. Phipps, Nurse England, that went extremely well. I was barely out of the parking lot when I got the call to return. You assured me you could handle things.
Just came in to check.
We'll find her. We will.
No matter. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. Don't they?
I'm sorry. I only...
Mistakes happen. Girls, my name is Paul Kroger, Tormore Pharmaceuticals. And I want to be absolutely clear and upfront with all of you. You have been grossly mistreated, and my company is largely to blame.
Mr. Kroger.
Whoa, you don't hear that very often.
Personally, I find the unprecedented results of your treatment fascinating. But I have the luxury of detachment, objectivity, which is of no value to you whatsoever. You want your lives back, as they were, as quickly as possible. After all, your fellow residents may be good people, but you did not sign on to become attached at the brain with them, did you?
You got that right.
Dr. Phipps and Nurse England share my concern, and we are of one mind, pardon that unfortunate pun, in having your welfare as our utmost concern. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Definitely.
I also want to let you know that our company takes full responsibility for what has happened, and we are prepared to make amends.
As in monetary amends?
Yes, we will pay for your full rehabilitation here, no matter how many sessions you need. I understand we have some repeat customers.
Guilty as charged, Judge.
I believe I will have no trouble convincing the company as well to create college scholarships for each of you, covering tuition, materials, room and board, and a sizable living stipend for 4 years to your school of choice.
What?
That's unbelievable.
You are patients, after all, not guinea pigs. True, Doctor?
Of course, but...
Wait a minute. This is all great news and everything, but if this connection that we have is permanent, I don't see how college is even going to work. How life is going to work.
We're quite certain this is a temporary condition. Our research suggests that such anomalies, while interesting, wear off quickly. Do you concur, Doctor?
Well, I want to believe.
Yes, it's always temporary.
So that's settled. You have all won the Primiterol lottery. Congratulations. Before we can work on reversing your condition, however, we need to get your lost companion back.
Search party. If we all spread out.
No, I'm not comfortable with that.
I was thinking we could try to take advantage of the powerful resources we have at hand. Why don't you girls see if you can contact...
Kelly.
Kelly. Ah, yes, of course.
I don't know. We can try.
Guided imagery you were using before. Perhaps.
What? Were you watching us?
You didn't notice the cameras in here, Sherlock? Of course they're watching us. Rehab, remember?
Come on, let's do it. It can't hurt.
All right, let's get back to the Crescent.
How do we start?
Beats me. Not like I've ever been on a mental search party.
Why don't you begin as you did before? Close your eyes, picture yourselves on that boat, that circular raft that you were on, striving to stay balanced as the river flows beneath you. Except this time, there's an empty spot in the raft, where Kelly was. Reach toward that spot. Focus your attention on the empty space. See if you can visualize Kelly. See if you can reach out to her, make a connection with her.
No offense, pharmacy guy. No offense, pharmacy guy. But could you shut up?
We're not used to having an outsider do this.
I will stand aside.
Weird.
What?
I actually miss her.
Like she's someone we've known all our lives. I feel it too.
Keep looking.
There she is. Kelly.
Kelly, we see you.
Help me.
Help
I don't know where I
can't.
Oh, God, you.
Come on back. Reach out your hand.
Out your hand.
There.
Feel it?
Yes.
Don't let go.
We won't.
We won't.
Come on.
Is it far? No.
No,
Only
you know the way.
You know the way? Yes.
We have you.
Just hold on.
Door's locked.
Locked.
Just stop.
Hi. Sorry, everybody.
Wonderful. Just wonderful. I am so impressed.
Thanks, you guys.
I'm glad you're back.
We're glad.
Girls, I couldn't be more pleased with how you have worked. Right now, I need to meet with Dr. Phipps and Nurse England briefly. And then we will come back and discuss the next step. Doctor?
What?
Just a brief meeting of the three of us, please. We will be back shortly, my friends. And Kelly, we will lock the door behind us.
I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, what's the matter?
I don't know. I didn't expect to feel like that.
Like, what?
It was like, I'm being stupid.
Like really bad homesickness. The minute I left the room, I felt it. I thought I had to get away. But then, it was like the first time I went away to sleepaway camp. That night, I missed my parents so bad.
I couldn't feel whole unless we were together again.
We all felt it.
This is so weird, but it's kind of cool.
Oh, great. Primiterol, a friggin' lesbian love potion.
I wanted to show you something.
Shouldn't we be back in the...
Of course. But if there's one thing I have learned over the years, it is that when I have an impulse to share an idea, I need to obey that impulse. I have some gloves.
Gloves?
Yes, my own invention. They look ordinary enough, don't they? But here is the secret to this particular apparel. Down each finger runs a tube, and each tube runs into this small packet on my wrist. At each end of each finger is a microscopic delivery device that responds to subtle pressure. Touch like this, and nothing happens. Press,
Ow! Hey!
and the product is delivered.
What product? What did you
Oh,
just...
in this case, nothing at all, naturally. I'm just demonstrating. Your pain response, by the way, was more of a matter of surprise than anything. It's nothing more than the scratch of a needle. At first, nothing.
I'm not.
Then,
Stop.
just a little something. Agreed?
Fine, but why?
Even 5 fingers.
Cut it out!
Shh. Even 10.
I said...
Slight pressure. Voila.
Ah!
Done. Honestly. How would you describe that?
Hell, keep your hands off me!
Of course, but you didn't like it any more than you wouldn't like, for instance, a shock from static electricity, no? Very brief, no lingering effects.
Whatever. What are you doing?
What about you, Doctor?
Well, I'd rather you didn't.
One hand, the other hand, quick press, done. What do you think? Very mild, yes. And if a patient were in distress, I dare say unnoticeable, don't you?
Look, Paul, if you're trying to sell us on these...
Oh, no. They are impractical, after all. I mean, I trust myself as the inventor to understand and be able to apply just the right pressure, only at the desired times. Honestly, I regard knowing what is needed and understanding the appropriate delivery method as my particular talent. But I can't expect that of everyone. How are our patients doing? Settled?
They look a little agitated, actually.
Ooh. Allergies?
I don't think so.
But no, the average medical staff does not have the aptitude nor the sensitivity to be trusted with something as subtle as my glove inventions. It's a shame, really. If everyone cared only as much as I do. It could be called the healing touch or the effective touch. Anyway, don't you agree? Rendered speechless. Trust is really the central issue, isn't it? That was illustrated. I trusted you, Doctor. After hearing the charmed history of Primiterol, would understand that its legacy needed to be protected at all costs. I trusted that you would pass that responsibility on to your staff. I was naive, I suppose. Trust and perspective. The ability to distance oneself enough to understand the concept of the greater good. Without these 2 key factors, trust and perspective, my friends, we might come to believe, for instance, that preserving a few minor lives would outweigh virtually infinite medical and monetary gains. Such loss of perspective would be tragic, don't you think? Of course you do.
This is officially the strangest night of my life. Not the worst, but definitely the strangest.
I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely thinking of sleep right now.
Amen to that. Kelly?
I will do my best. I think I'm getting better at the not swamping thing. I will try to stay balanced in my dreams.
The drug guy was coming back, though, wasn't he?
I hope not. Let's sort it out later.
Sorry for the interruption. Just had to confer with the staff for a moment. You all look tired.
We are.
I wish I could let you rest, but I'm afraid time is of the essence. We have to begin the work to reverse your condition right away.
Seriously?
I'm afraid so. I wish we could wait, but gather your wits and your last shreds of energy, and let's just do a bit more work. The First thing we need to attempt,
The doctor's not helping with this?
well, he and the nurse will be along shortly. They're doing some research right now. As I was saying, our first job is to see if you can include me in your circle. If I can become privy to your, for lack of a better term, synchronous state, I will be better able to move you forward.
I guess. What's the plan?
This crescent shape has indeed seemed to invite that element that brings you to your extraordinary state of communion. What I propose is that you get in the typical formation again, while I sit in the open segment of the crescent. There, I will see if I might join with you somehow.
After everything we've done tonight, why not?
For a full ride college scholarship, I'll try anything.
That's the spirit. Thank you for your willingness. I will just place this chair here and have a seat. Now, shall we all close our eyes? What I would like you all to do, if you'll pardon me for sounding egotistical, is focus on me this time. I will try to reciprocate. See if I can find you. Experience what you have been experiencing. This drug, Primiterol, never ceases to amaze. If we had more time, I would tell you its story. I have a feeling we are adding to it tonight, continuing its legacy of magic, its giving of gifts. It must not be stopped. It must be allowed to flourish.
He continues to talk, but the girls rise quietly from their chairs and move away from him until they are huddled together in one mass. Appalled at what they know he is, they breathe quickly but quietly in unison. Paul continues to talk, eyes closed, unaware of the girls watching him.
I sense an energy in the room, but I can't say as I feel connected to you yet. Am I fooling myself that I actually see you in my mind's eye? Oh, how I envy you. Maybe I just need to shut up, as you so refreshingly requested a while ago. I do have a tendency to ramble on. I'll just be quiet now. See if I can become a part of this. Ah. I think this did not work as I had expected.
Rendered speechless.
Trust and perspective.
Infinite medical and monetary gains.
One
hand,
the other hand.
Done.
Mm-hmm. I could not join your minds, but you saw into mine, didn't you?
You murdered
them.
I did.
You want
to murder us.
Well, yes. I had a variety of scenarios in mind, but I think you know they all led to the same result. I'm sorry. I can't allow you to live. The story of Primiterol, the benefits, are too important to be interrupted by a glitch like this. Realize, my friends, that every path to greatness is paved with sacrifice. I only hope to feel firsthand this little side chapter you've all had the privilege of living, of becoming. Ah well. Girls, this does not need to be drawn out or very painful. Just a touch, just a little pressure, and we'll be done. You've seen it. I'm going to kill you now.
Oh, girls, girls, girls! So impractical. My gloves are perfect for this application. One on the neck, one on the heart, press, and it's virtually instantaneous. But if you make me chase you down, one at a time in a macabre game of tag, oh, it's going to get so messy. My. You all look so determined. So, I'm sorry, so cute. But enough. Time's a wasting.
He crosses, hands out to deliver the fatal blow to Amanda.
No!
Paul stops, frozen. The girls move him with their minds back to the center of the crescent.
Oh, this is fascinating. Your abilities are very impressive, but
He breaks away and rushes at the girls again.
No!
Paul moves again against his will to the center. His hands come up, one moving toward his neck, the other toward his heart.
Oh, this is miraculous. Absolutely miraculous.
Suddenly, the girls all go silent. They look down at Paul's lifeless body. Finally, they speak.
Hold hands.
Hold hands. Stay calm.
Deep breath.
Deep breath.
We
We are the coming
Magic.